The U.S. claims to be the champion for human rights all over the world, but we need to set the record straight. Before we can make such a claim, we need to clean up our own backyard. Judges that sit on the highest courts and legislators who have passed laws have done so with the intent of depriving women of their right to self-determination, their right to bodily autonomy, their right to health and reproductive rights. This, in effect, deprives them of their happiness. What they have done, these legislators are basically interpreting legislation based on their version of Christianity, which is the Christian right. In this regard, in this context, our courts and legislators are no longer civil laws. They are actually religious laws. These misogynistic laws is a global problem. In the Muslim world, as we know too well, the patriarchy is deeply entrenched in the religious courts, and more often than not, they adjudicate against the rights of women. Ms. Aisha Mwanga is the Alliance of Inclusive Muslims Global Director for Family Law Reform.
The two key steps to ensuring a just and an equitable religious court is one, to codify Sharia laws, and secondly, to implement the Maqasid al-Sharia human rights framework. However, while we do this, we really have to harmonize the international human rights framework, the domestic human rights framework of a given country, vis-a-vis the Sharia laws that will have been established in the particular country.
Despite the global efforts to lift up gender equality with UN resolutions and government commitments, the discriminating cultures persist at the individual, family, and societal level. Again, depriving women and girls of their happiness. And by the way, this also affects boys and men. As an umbrella human rights organization, the Alliance of Inclusive Muslims, or AIM, is working towards changing that culture that is very persistent, and we do so in partnership with male religious authorities. I'm happy to introduce to you our Global Director for Sexual Health and Reproductive Rights, or SRHR, Sheikh Kasum Coulibaly of Mali.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I am Sheikh Kasum Coulibaly from the Republic of Mali in Africa. A lot of women are facing challenges to access to hospital because their husband don't allow them to do so. But I want to tell you, in the Surah Baqarah and a lot of hadiths of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all Muslim women need access to sexual and reproductive health rights for them, to give them health, to give health to their children, and to give health to the whole community. We need to link also the SRHR access to empowerment of women, because women can have access to education, access to capacity building, access to capital, to do their own business and to be empowered to contribute to the development of the whole community. Assalamu alaikum.
Be persistently standing firm in justice, even if it's against your own interest, against the interests of your parents or your tribe, whether rich or poor.